And a good afternoon from Wake Med Soccer Park in Cary, North Carolina on a 90-degree, partly cloudy, sticky afternoon. It's time for more WPSL Carolinas Conference action today. Here as the Oak City United come in at 2-2, hosting the Carolina Lady Dynamo at 0-4-1. Hi again, everybody. Chris Shima, glad to be with you. Zach Burley also alongside. We'll bring Zach here in just a moment. Let's meet the starting lineups. First for the Lady Dynamo, as I mentioned, 0-4-1, and they will start in front of the net is number 30, that's Darian Byram. Also starting today, number 11, Brianna Carney, number 21, Madison Hammond, number 26, Rhodes Neese, number 22, Peyton Perea, number 17, Allie Reagan, number 14, Jamie Frankhauser, number 8, Cameron Keating. Number 23, Audrey Beck. Number 25, Isabella Cox rounds out the lineup for the Dynamo as you see them on your screen in the red, white, and blue. For Oak City today, in front of the net, one change for Anita Rodriguez as she starts Julia Edelstein today for making her first start of the season, I believe. Also starting today, some usual suspects. Number 1, Michelle Casold, 3 goals on the season. Number 5, Madison Hoops, 2 goals on the year for Madison. Also number 6, Remy Schwartz. Number 8, Rachel Golden. Number 13, Ella Bonner is back today. Number 9, Avery Garner. Number 21 is Lauren Griffiths. Number 18 is Claire Griffiths. And number 26 is Paige Griffiths. Also starting number 28, Ivy Garner. So that's the starters. Oak City coming off a 3-1 defeat last weekend against the Carolina Rapids. Michelle Casold had her 3rd goal of the season in the second half of that one. And the Dynamo just 1 point on the table so far as they lost 4-1 against Lake Norman. That was last Sunday. So, Zach, both teams getting set to go here. And Carolina Lady Dynamo, we're looking at a lot of their reserve team, as it were, a lot of high school players, much like we saw with Lake Norman. So we'll see what the more experienced team in Oak City has in store for them here this afternoon. Off the first kick, ball goes out of bounds, so just like that, Oak City gets a kick, and Ivy Garner is making the start today. She's a high school soon-to-be sophomore, as we mentioned, for Oak City. So some youth on both sides, but more so today for the Lady Dynamo from Greensboro. Right now, Lady Dynamo with possession, sending it into the box, and get to talk about Julia Edelstein here, Zach.
Yeah, absolutely. It's got a big job to replace in the starting lineup. Zagante, she's been wonderful in the times we've seen her start, but Edelstein has also played a good solid half a couple of weeks ago, so it'll be interesting to see how she does from the beginning of the game, rather from maybe a substitute perspective, but I believe that she's up for the task and will live up to the expectations that we have for her.
She's from Nebraska, 35-3-1 in high school. That was her record in front of the net. In 2016 and 17, she was at North Dakota State, a 1.80 goals against average, made 41 saves, and stopped 72% of the shots that she faced in 14 appearances. Also, Nebraska club team were the state champions. So, she's got a fairly winning pedigree here.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how they start off this week.
First shot for Oak City is going to be blocked by the keeper for the Dynamo, Byram. And it'll go behind for a corner kick. So Oak City trying to get on the board here early. And we'll see our first corner kick off the shot. And once again, as per usual, it's Claire Griffiths who will take this corner.
And, of course, Bonner is back after missing the game last week, so you're going to have to watch for her as well as Golding, who was kind of the replacement on the set pieces as far as heading these in.
Gardner's also out there at 5'11". That's going to be headed by a defender. I believe it was Neese who got it for Carolina. Flicked forward by Lauren Griffiths, the center back, and Carney tried to go back heel. Now gets it back. Looking for a little tap to Rodriguez on the far side of your screen. She'll cross it in, looking for Cox. And that's going to go off of her, I believe. No. Looks like they say it was touched by Oak City, so back-to-back corner kicks here in the first couple of minutes.
Yeah, that was a fantastic counterattack. They literally went from one end of the field to the other rather seamlessly when it came out from the corner kick. They just booted it long and were managed to use some of that pace on the wings to go down and win a corner kick. So you're going to have to watch out for that, as I suspect Oak City will have a majority of the possession. You got to watch out for the Dynamo on the break.
Perea is a good one, entering her senior year at Wake Forest, women's national team under 14 and 15 teams. So she'll take the corner kick over on the far side of your screen. Good header by Nice, but that's going to go wide right for a goal kick.
Having a pretty high action start. We've seen the game last week. We took about 15 or 20 minutes to really get settled in, and then of course the game before that with the Fleet, it was action from the start. So it looks like both teams are ready to come out here and really slug this one out, not looking to get settled in. I think they're both ready to go and get a win today, because they both really need it as far as how the rest of the season's going to look.
Yeah, these two teams met twice last year. Oak City took 4 points, winning once and drawing level once. Last year they won 2-0 on June the 3rd. Edelstein facing some pressure, able to clear it away though. That was here at Wake Med. Hoops and Melissa Fernandez, who are both in the starting lineup today, had goals in that game. Lauren Griffiths with an assist last year. Over on that far side, it looks like that's Garner. And Garner running out of real estate, but able to deflect. So the corners are busy here this afternoon, Zach.
Yep, it's been end to end. I think this is our third one of the match, and we're just a few minutes in. So it's, so that we see a lot of corners. That doesn't necessarily mean we see a lot of goals. We've seen 1 or 2 scored off a set piece from this area, so we'll see if maybe they can take more of an advantage of this as this game goes on. They've certainly got lots of opportunities to do so. So
Claire Griffiths again taking this corner on the far side, second one of the afternoon. Into the box, Golden trying to find some space. Casold on the ricochet. It's blocked by the back of the defender. Still opportunity. Paige Griffith sends it in. Casold trying to get her footing, can't do it. Schwartz sends it into the box, and that'll be no trouble for Darian Byram. Let's talk about Byram. She's going to start her collegiate career at Kenyon this fall. I know Kenyon very well from the Buckeye State. Oak City still applying some pressure on this young defense.
And I just want to say, going back to the corner, and even right now, what kind of a player is Casold? She's an absolute predator inside the box. When that ball fell down after the header, she was immediately turning on it. When the ball got cleared, she was straight on it again. When there was pressure on the defense, she was just gnawing at the heels of the defenders. So she's going to give them a lot of trouble today.
That's that field hockey experience.
Yes.
It's a very physical, constantly battling and fighting for position, and it looked like she got hit in the head there at center circle. They're going to get a foul called, so that'll give Oak City a free kick.
Yep, just a little elbow in the back of the head. Glad that she's up, and it's nothing major. Head injuries are always scary anytime you see somebody going down clutching their head, so glad to see that she's all right. And I just want to mention Bonner. She is now taking up a role in the midfield. When we've seen her play, she started out at defense, so she's got a different position today, and we'll see what she can do.
Yeah, where in the world is Ella Bonner? That's the game we like to play throughout these contests. Griffith sends it into the box. Casold tried for the header. It went over her head, though. Some bumping and pushing as Hoops tries to get possession, but Dynamo come out with it.
We talked about the youth of the Dynamo, but they're very confident in possession.
In transition, Garner sends it into the box. Hoops is trying to get there. Reagan, the defender, sends it back to Byram, who will clear.
And that's exactly what I'm talking about. I don't know how many players in that situation would go back to their goalkeeper to clear it away. Most of them would just panic and clear it out. So despite the fact that they are young, they are very confident when they're on the ball.
So Hoops now, Paige Griffiths. Turning it over. Fankhauser, some nice defense. Dynamo trying to get the attack going back to Fankhauser. Set up from behind now. Here in the 8th minute, just underway. Krishima, glad to be with you. That's going to roll to Edelstein. And folks, don't forget you can chat with us on the YouTube chat if you want to give us a shout. Love to hear from you. So Oak City now, it's Ella Bonner sending it back. That is Lauren Griffiths over on the far side. I believe it's Gardner looking for Casold down the field. Some deflecting around as the Dynamo try to quelch the attack. Here's Garner. Ivy directing traffic. Nice 1-2 with her and Claire Griffiths. Again, they're looking for Casold. Casold leads the team, Zach, with 3 goals as we get midway through this WPSL season. Ball into the box now. Hoops had a touch on it. Second effort, and the defense able to hold for the Dynamo.
Yeah, going back to Casold, she does have, as we mentioned, that predator's instinct, and she's just so clinical when she gets in and around the box. When she gets a chance, she normally takes it.
Opportunity for Cox here. Sends it to the middle. Whiffing on the shot is Carney. And that ball's going to roll. Still active. Perea will get there. Mentioned it's a young team. Perea is a veteran, though. She'll be a college senior coming up this fall. Her pass deflected. Casold now. A little touch over to Gardner on the far side of your screen.
Good job from her to drift in deep and pick up possession. That's a key role as a striker that doesn't often get taken up.
Neese, the center back. This is Keating, the other center back. And over on the far side, that's Maddie Pry, I believe. So it's a younger team for the Lady Dynamo here today. They do have a couple of veterans, though, as I mentioned. So they'll rely on them, not only on the pitch, but on the bench as well for some leadership and experience. Perea sends it to the far side. Thought that might be too far, but Pry gets there. Pry's got a lot of size as she crosses it in. Nice effort by Carney. Hit it just kind of awkwardly, though, as it rolls for a goal kick here in minute number 10.
Yeah, it's been early on, but the Dynamo have looked really dangerous, especially when they've crossed the ball in. The counterattack earlier on, the shot we saw about 2 minutes ago where they crossed it in on the ground, and that chance there. When they bring in the ball from wide areas, it looks like they're very, very dangerous. They just haven't been able to find that finishing touch that's put them ahead. But it's going to have to be something that Oak City, as far as the defense goes, is going to have to clean up if they want to get success in this game.
I heard most of that. You know, we were talking about it. This is wrapping up a 4-game homestand for Oak City here this afternoon, and really they have to come out with 3 points at this point, as the team we saw last week, the Rapids, have started. They're now in first place, solely in first place.
Yeah, which is a surprise given how strongly that Asheville started. And, you know, when you're on a homestand like this, you want to maximize the amount of points you get out of it. So they started really strong, but have kind of let off in those last 2 games. Granted, they were playing very strong teams, but they're going to want to definitely get 3 points here to round this off and start that long road trip. It's going to be difficult to pick points up on.
Michelle Casold applying some pressure. You see it there right now. Carolina passing around. 11th minute, Chris Sheeman, Zach Burley, Kevin Gotuso on the camera here this afternoon. We'll have one more for you coming up in July. You're going to take a few weeks off, come back after the July 4th holiday, and Asheville will come to town, and that ball goes over everybody's head. It'll be a throw for Oak City on the near side. Schwartz will take it.
And you can't look too far ahead in the season, but that match is going to be crucial for one of these teams, whether it be Asheville chasing a spot in the playoffs towards the end of the season, or whether it's Oak City trying to get in as well. That game is going to be one you're not going to want to miss.
Beck sends it to Carney. Carney trying to get it into the box. I believe that's Golden on the near side who hit it to Casold. Oops. Now Casold looking back for Hoops. And Casold will keep it instead, and I think she should have probably given it back to Hoops there.
Yeah, I think she was definitely trying to. It's just a matter of trying to place that ball. It's not an easy thing to do, to thread it through. I think she was really thinking about it, really trying, but in the end, as those defenders started to close in around her, she just decided to take it herself, and in the end just shot out of desperation. But good continuous work from them in the offensive end.
On the far side, it's Cox, and diving for it is Edelstein. So Edelstein from Nebraska, we talked about her. Byram is going to Ohio to play soccer this fall. Kenyon College is a popular school for Lady Dynamo players. There's a couple other players who play up there in the Buckeye State. It's a beautiful college, too, a little D3 school, liberal arts, beautiful campus. Not a bad place to continue your collegiate career. 13th minute. Throw in over on the far side. Take it right back by the Dynamo. There's the Lady Dynamo and then the Carolina Dynamo. They've got a men's team as well, and the PDL over there in the Greensboro area. Long pass on the far side, trying to run it down is Carney. She gets there. Carney against Schwartz. And getting there for Oak City was Griffiths, but still danger. Perea tees it up, and that'll be a little bit too high and out of play.
Well, she's one to watch in or around the box. She certainly has a eye for goal, especially from distance, so they're going to want to make sure they close her down. And kind of going back to talking about the men's team, one thing that's really strong in this conference particularly is the venues that these teams have. With Charleston Fleet, of course, they're at the Battery. They have a great facility. The one here at Wake Med is beautiful. And then up at Greensboro with the men's team there, that's where the Big South tournament was. I got to see some of that, some of their facilities. So all of them have very nice places to play as far as the pitch conditions go, which can't be said for everywhere in the United States. So definitely thankful for that, and thankful for the ability to be here on this beautiful pitch on a actually pretty nice day.
Yeah, the sun has been more present than the clouds, but the clouds have provided some relief at times. Looking for the through ball, Paige Griffiths trying to run it down. And again, that defense able to hold for the Dynamo. Dynamo kind of just sitting back. Well, if you want to learn about some of the other pitches, you can find out more and learn more about the WPSL on their website there, brand spanking new website. All the teams, standings, tables, everything that we're talking about, you can follow along on their website, and they'll give you all the information that you need to know. Trying to get the counterattack on was the Lady Dynamo, but no trouble for the defense. This is Golden with some space near side of center circle for Oak City. Golden looking for Hoops, and Hoops is going to be held off by the defender, Reagan. Yeah. Look out, that pass is off the mark, and it's going to be out of bounds. Yeah,
it's the first time they've really got caught in it, but you really got to give credit to the Dynamo. They've really put a lot of emphasis on passing out of the back, and that's not an easy thing to do at all, as you just saw. Sometimes you're under pressure. Maybe sometimes it's better to clear the ball, but in that instance they got caught out. But we'll have to continue to see if that becomes a problem for them.
Hoops. Griffiths fires it, and diving for it, making the play, is Byram.
Yeah, at this point it's been a couple of pot shots from distance. They haven't had much up close, but as we continue to see the match go on, it'll be a matter of whether or not one goalkeeper makes an error and messes up like we kind of saw in the World Cup yesterday, or whether it's going to be we continue to move in and have some shots from close up. Either way, there's two.
That was awesome yesterday.
It certainly was.
That was a lot of fun, Spain and Portugal, wasn't it?
It was, absolutely. And you know, as somebody who's a little more partial to Spain, I kind of knew Ronaldo was going to put that one in, unfortunately, when he stepped up. It was no real doubt in my mind.
I mean, it was just a fun game. You know, both of those teams are coming out of that table. Watching the first game was like torture. I felt like we deserved that second one. That, what was it? Saudi Arabia and...
Yep. Or Iran and Morocco.
Iran and Morocco.
Yep. Back to the marquee quadruple substitution.
Again, we're on it as best we can. Frances Henshaw coming in. Also Melissa Fernandez. And probably somebody else. We'll let you know. Also Anna Fish coming on. Thanks, Zach. Anna Fish, speaking of which, at center circle, losing it. Dynamo, what's their strategy here today, Zach? We haven't seen, it looks like a lot of long passes, more or less than anything here today from them.
Yeah, they've, in all due respect to them, they've had a rough start to the season, obviously just picking up that 1 point. So, as a, you know, they're going to want to get points at any place that they can get them, preferably a win. As we've seen their defense, they've been willing to pass the ball short, but when they've moved into transition into the midfield, they've used some long balls and they've used the wings to great success. So that's what they're going to be looking forward to, trying to take advantage of the counterattack.
Sold for Fernandez, and she'll miss it short. So that'll be a goal kick. Yeah, the 1 point they did pick up, they drew level with Charleston 1-1 back on June 2nd, and that's a team that Oak City had some trouble with. So, again, we don't know because the Dynamo have a reserve squad, and we're seeing a lot of them here today. We don't know what their roster looked like at the beginning of the year, but just putting it out there that they fought Charleston to a tie.
And I don't want to speak for the club because I'm not going to claim to be an expert, but I think that today they're looking to set up to play. When you're an away team, that a lot of the times the home team is going to want to have possession, so it looks like they're set up to kind of sit back, wait, find your opportunities to go and get the ball long. So I think that's how they'll set up today. It could work out well for them, given that Oak City does like to have the ball a lot, does like to work in possession, and from the couple of chances we've seen from the wide areas, it's been successful.
Well, off the free kick, it's Reagan sending it into the box, trying to get through with Cox, but no trouble for Edelstein there. So the Dynamo season looks like this. 6-0 loss at Asheville, 1-1 tie against Charleston, then a 4-0 loss against the Rapids, 4-0 again they hosted Asheville last weekend, and 4-1 against Lake Norman again. That was last weekend as well. So they got rid of Asheville. They don't have to see them again. That's the good news for the Dynamo, who went, by the way, last year 3-5-1.
Yeah, it's all about building blocks, about getting some results and trying to continue to build off those and to continue to improve as the season goes on. That's obviously something they're going to want to do starting off here and pick up points. I think at this point that going offsides there, that they have a good shot at doing it. It seems as though that in the games they've played, that when one goes in, they've kind of folded and let in 2, 3, 4, and even 6 in the game against Asheville. So it's a matter of just controlling that tempo to make sure that you don't let the scoreline get ahead of you. If you can get that goal on the break, you're looking to be in pretty good fashion. But I don't, and of course we've said this about every game we've done here, but I don't think that we're going to see one of those really crazy high-scoring games between both teams like we've seen in the past. And of course, now that we've said that, it's going to be the exact opposite. But given the setup of this team, I think it could be pretty constricted as far as the attacking flow of one of the teams.
The competition in the semi-pro summer leagues is fairly, the Dynamo are younger, but it doesn't mean they're not as talented.
No, not at all.
It's very even for the most
Yes,
part.
absolutely, absolutely.
Here comes Oak City again. It's Michelle Casold trying it from distance, and that'll be wide left for another goal kick. So Oak City trying to get to 3-2 on the year. Again, a couple of matchups with Asheville still to come. They'll hit the road for the better part of the rest of the year. 4 of the next 5 will be on the road. So this wrapping up a 4-game homestand, and you can't go to 2 and 3 after a 4-game homestand and expect to have a shot. In fact, they might even be eliminated if that happens.
Yeah, given the way the season is set up, it very well could be what it is.
Casold sprinting, trying to get to the ball, lays off, and it'll be a corner kick. So wise decision there by Michelle. As we see some of her speed, she's tried the more tactical approach so far here early on. That was her first burst of speed.
And a really good sliding tackle from the defender in that situation. We've seen some high quality from their defenders as far as passing goes, and that slide tackle was perfectly timed.
So, Claire Griffiths for the 3rd straight time from the far side, here in now minute number 22. Looking to make something happen off the set piece. She's scored from a set piece, from a corner kick. Also has an assist on the year. Into the box, that's going to be headed up by Keating. Almost sent right back, but it's finally cleared by the Dynamo.
What makes her services so dangerous is that she puts them right on the goal line, and that makes it nearly impossible for the goalkeeper to do anything with it. Like when we've seen Bonner was in, she would kind of mark the goalkeeper, which makes it even harder for you to get over someone that's got height on them, to get over and punch away. So those set pieces are designed specifically that way and make it very difficult for a goalkeeper.
Golden's throw intended for Hernandez. That was Nice with a nice defense. Still coming forward, though. And that's, well, no call. Inadvertent handball. No whistle, though, as possession bounces back and forth here.
And they're not afraid to pass the ball backwards, the Dynamo. And besides that time right there, it's worked out pretty well.
Henshaw took it away momentarily, at least. Dynamo now, it's Keating. She'll send it back to Byram, the keeper.
Yeah, not a lot of defenders have the confidence to turn when there's an attacker in front of them and then look to find a pass, whether it be back to their goalkeeper or another defender. So if that's what they're trying to go for, to teach these younger defenders that lesson, then they're doing a good job of that.
Perea with a great ball. Offside flag is down. Carney had a step. Pulls back. That's Fankhauser. Top of the box. Better defense that time for Oak City. That was Henshaw. Henshaw started in last week's game and played very well. Now she's comes off the bench here, draws a foul there. Playing pretty well here today as well, Zach.
Yeah, good defensive work from Oak City. Disappointing there for the Dynamo because that was a really good chance for them.
On the near side, this is Hoops. Hoops sends it, blocked by the keeper, Byram. Still opportunity as Fernandez tried to make something happen, but nothing doing.
Yeah, and that was a difficult one there. Whether Fernandez or Fish was going to end up shooting that one, I think that, both of them would have had a pretty equal chance from the distance that they were given. It was always going to be difficult to strike it from there, but it was good play from the goalkeeper earlier on to punch that one away as that ball came crossing in. Certainly not easy to do, is to make contact with the ball while it's in the flight of the air, especially when you're diving like that.
We're going to get a water break now, so 24th minute. Time for the ladies to get hydrated. Let's everybody back at the house get hydrated. Just grab your favorite beverage. And what do you want to talk about while we keep it here, Zach? You want to talk about the World Cup some more?
Sure. I think that the Nigeria game is going on.
Judging by the ratings so far, that's where everybody is. They're not.
Yep, it's that time of the year where soccer fans and non-soccer fans alike can gather around and watch the beautiful game. We've got some really good soccer here, too, so if you do take a break from the World Cup, maybe it's halftime, maybe you're just not interested in it anymore, you definitely should tune in over here. Stay tuned in, because we've got a good one on our hands. So, but as far as the World Cup goes, every year, every time it's a classic.
Who's your favorite?
My favorite, since the U.S. isn't it, is Belgium.
Yeah.
Really like Belgium. They got a couple of players that I like from teams that I support, plus they're young and they're good. Not my favorites, though. I have to go with Spain on that one.
I'm Italian, so I'm out of luck this year.
You gotta look both ways, yeah.
It's amazing now our women's team, Italian women's soccer, was never really given a lot of due, but it's starting to climb, and men's soccer is starting to fall a little bit. By the way, Palermo, they're playing right now, man.
That's true.
Pins and needles. I'm going to check that score as soon as that halftime whistle blows.
Yeah, unfortunately, the team that I support in in Italian second division was defeated by Palermo, but I think that they'll do well in this game.
Get there.
Yeah, more than likely.
That's the team with the American owner. This is fascinating stuff. I'm sure to people who have no idea what we're talking about. We're talking about Serie B soccer.
Mm-hmm. A second division in soccer is something that's very, obviously, tons of people talk about that. But you were talking about women's.
I'm so happy to have somebody I can talk about it with. I can't help myself.
That's not frequent. But
no,
going back to Italian women's soccer, actually Juventus, who are a very popular team in Italy, just got a women's team now. They're forming up a women's league domestically. It's really cool to see because European countries didn't really put a lot of emphasis on women's soccer as far as domestic leagues go. They had a national team, but didn't really pay it a lot of attention. But now you see almost all the countries have large, successful domestic leagues. So that's really cool to see.
We're going to Italian market. I wish they were giving me money because I'd love to promote them. After this, it's right up the road. Oh, man, best desserts, all from Italy. Good spot. Again, they want to cut me a check. I'll tell you all. I'll tell you all on Twitter. How about Madison Hoops there off the water break, trying to take it away. The pass was a little bit off the mark, but looks like Fernandez trying to help her out here, and Oak City gains it back. Send into the box. That's going to be too far forward for Casold, so we'll have another goal kick here.
Yeah, it's a well-placed ball, and Casold is speedy, but not quite that speedy. It was just a little too far in front of her, but it was good placement, I think, as you see those passes continue to come in, that they'll get closer and closer.
Chris Sheeman, Zach Burley is his name. Kevin Gotuso is on the camera. We're at Wake Med Soccer Park. Varying temperatures have been popping up on my phone. I saw 92, I saw 86, I saw 88, and so I'm going with 90 because that's what it feels like. Hotter, of course, on the field.
Yeah, thankfully there is a bit of a breeze, and thankfully this is actual grass and not synthetic turf.
Oh, this is grass.
Yep.
We were talking about that before. I thought they didn't make any fields with grass anymore, so I just assume it's fake.
Yeah, it's occasional. Some people do take that into consideration, especially athletes.
Yeah.
Really do not prefer to play on the synthetic. They'd rather play on grass.
No, what was that story about the keepers that were getting cancer because they're sliding and ingesting that junk into them? And this Wake Med place, they do it right here, folks.
Yep, absolutely.
Dynamo on the ball. Hammond sends it forward. That offside flag is up, so don't worry about that, folks. 28th minute.
And for people that maybe aren't necessarily the most familiar with the offsides rule, in that situation the player did not touch the ball, so you would say, well, why was she offsides? But she still affected the play because the defender was trying to play the ball back to the goalkeeper and would have been out for a corner kick. A corner kick. So the offsides rule is not easy for people out there who perhaps maybe don't understand it the most. I think it's probably the most difficult rule for Americans is the offsides rule. So in case you didn't know why that was offsides, there you go.
Yeah, you operate under the assumption that it's as simple as, two defenders back, and it's not.
Yep. And if there ever is a rule that you guys don't understand out there and would like to let us elaborate on, just hit us up with the chat, and we'll be happy to do that for you.
He will.
Yeah.
Zach will be happy. That's going to bounce right to Edelstein, looking to get the counter-attack here going. Rachel Golden. You're good about that stuff. Definitely an asset to have. Golden sends it into the box as Fish gives it a run, and Pry will let it go behind. So Maddie Pry earning another goal kick for the Lady Dynamo. Well, folks, don't forget you can follow Oak City on social media. It's all at Oak City United, all just like that on Twitter, on Facebook, and on Instagram. They follow me. I got a follow back on Twitter.
It's only taken 3 games of talking about it.
Casold. Once again, the defense able to hold here. Carolina, it's back. You can see the opportunities, though, for Oak City.
Yeah, they're inching their way closer towards a goal, and this is where Dynamo like to operate, is on the break like this. And you've seen multiple times they've really made it difficult for Oak City defending when they use that pace in the long ball.
Be a throw-in for Reagan. Beck. Golden took it back. There has not been a great flow to this one.
No, it's been quite choppy, and I'm not sure if that was the game plan of the Dynamo to try and break things up and to make it a little more difficult for Oak City to build momentum. It might have been. It might just happen as a result of them trying to send the ball long. But whatever it is, it has been choppy, and that's going to play more into the hands of the away team rather than Oak City, who are going to want to build possession and really get the ball in advanced areas.
Edelstein with the drop kick. And a Fish trouble with it. That was headed by Wright for Carolina. So Mackenzie Wright out there. Redshirt at Western Carolina last year after 2 years at UNC Pembroke. So one of the veterans. Fernandez with a little flick. Again, Casold trying to give it a run. Her gas tank is still at least partially full as she sends it into the box. Madison Hoops trying for a touch and begging for a whistle and not getting either.
Yeah, that was a wonderfully put-in ball by Casol as far as crossing that one and putting it in just the right area. It's so difficult to place the ball not only in a spot where an attacker is, but where they're going to be leading them. So she did a wonderful job of that, and she's going to get a much-deserved break from running all over the pitch.
I was wondering when they were going to let her get into that shaded tent area. I'll tell you about the subs here. A couple on for Oak City. Catherine Turner coming on, this soon-to-be sophomore at Belmont Abbey, wearing number 11 on your screen. And also number 4, Natalie Carpenter, who will be a sophomore at VMI. She's from the Raleigh area, Leesville Road High School, a state finalist while she played there. So the depth for Anita Rodriguez and company off the bench.
Yeah, not just depth, but also versatility. There's so many players on the bench that can come off and have an impact, not just in one position, but in multiple positions. Speaking specifically of Bonner, who's not been on the pitch, and I don't know specifically, but maybe she had been gone the game because of a physicality thing, whatever it is. She can come off herself and play just about anywhere. I mean, I wouldn't even put it past her to go in goal. So that's super important and a really big asset.
Sarah Thomas is in for the Dynamo, replacing Audrey Beck as well.
Though if they have to resort to Bonner in goal, you're going to say that's quite a crazy game to end up in that situation.
Foul called on Oak City. That'll give a free kick to Carolina. I believe it's Perea over on the far side. Again, little tricky to see. Now Perea's in the box, so somebody else taking this free kick for the Lady Dynamo. Low and on one hop, no trouble for Edelstein there. The interesting thing is when you've only got 3 subs is in a normal international game, you kind of always look for who's making the sub and what position are they playing and why. And here you kind of have all kinds of different opportunities and things that you could work with. So Anita Rodriguez just brought in a couple of attackers, and you see almost getting that counterattack there for Oak City. Whereas you wouldn't see that late in the first half, maybe, in a normal international game.
Exactly. You have to go with the reliable whenever you only have 3 substitutions. Somebody that you know can make an impact. Here, with as many as you'd like, you can really go for a wild card. Maybe somebody that's unconventional the way they play or doesn't necessarily always fit into the style you want. So they can put in maybe an attacker that's maybe placed differently that can sold just for the end of the first half and see what comes of it. So it provides a whole other tactical aspect that you can look at from the game, which is a lot of fun to analyze, but I would not want to be a coach in that instance. It would be nice to have all those substitutions, but the difficulty of knowing when to make them and all that is...
Yeah, it's almost like you go down the cookie aisle.
Yeah.
There's 150 brands and styles of cookies.
Exactly.
Good ball. Left in the middle. Fernandez tried to chase it down. Again, those center backs for the Lady Dynamo just content. Flick it out of the way. Now an opportunity here for the counterattack. That ball by Cox. The offside flag is up, so... no goal there.
Yeah, it was marginal, but I think that was the right decision. The attacker in that situation just strayed a little bit in front of the attacker when she was playing the ball into her. It's an awkward situation because when you're one-on-one like that and there's no real defenders around you, as much as you really want to get close to goal, you can't because you have to stay on the opposite side of the ball from the goal in order to stay onside. So very unfortunate they couldn't get something from there. It was a defensive mistake and they couldn't capitalize, but really would have wanted to make something of that golden opportunity.
Yeah, and that's one of those things, you know, that will come from experience. A lot of youth, as I mentioned, on the team. So those are the kinds of things that you'd know as you go forward. Pull yourself back for that half second is really all you need. Make sure your vision is proper. They're trying to make something happen here. Again, this is Cox. Good run by her. She's going to fire it. Blocked by Edelstein. Coming up is Ferraro. What a save. Julia Edelstein.
Yeah, that's a massive save. If they get a goal right before halftime, I mean, that would just be huge for the away team to go in with a lead. Or, you know, there is still time left in the first half, but to get that there would have been massive. So for Edelstein to make that individual effort to come up with that save is absolutely huge for this team.
So Carolina with more of the possession here as the half has gone on. Thomas tried to make something happen there. Edelstein no trouble again. Oak City going on the road for the better part of the season. They'll wrap the regular season July 7th back here at Wake Med. Another Saturday 2:30 contest that we'll have for you. I'll have for you. Where are you going to be?
Occupied.
Okay.
I wish I could be here because that's going to be a lot of fun. That game is.
Henshaw giving it a look. Yeah, Asheville coming. Now, of course, Oak City will see Asheville in Asheville first. Asheville slipped up this week. They tied the team from Hilton Head, Beaufort County. Sub for Oak City coming off is Lauren Griffiths. And I think Avery Garner came back in for her.
And you saw in that last chance, Griffiths was just having a little bit of trouble keeping up with the attacker. Maybe that she had maybe pulled something, just, not anything it's serious, but just maybe it fell a little something, or maybe was just really tired out there. So I think they brought her off, give her a little break on the bench, get some water and such, and bring on Gardner as a replacement there.
Golden will throw. Once again, this stingy, gnat-like defense for the Lady Dynamo. Unable as Oak City to get much going on the attack, although not for a lack of effort. Now here's maybe an opportunity for Turner. Turner back to Carpenter. Carpenter again. on that far side. Turner. Gardner. That's played back by Fish. Patient by Henshaw. Back to Ferraro. Ferraro trying to make something happen, and you could see there how hard Oak City had to work for a shot.
That was really good play from them. They were patient.
Yeah.
That's exactly what you want, is to pass the ball, not try to rush it.
That ball deflected, so look out here. Nice play by Gardner to make sure, as that'll roll out of bounds.
Just to cap that off, it was really good short passing play. They just couldn't make space for the shot. And on the other end, Gardner, crucial intervention to get that one, not just away, but out of play where the rest of the defense can come back and recover.
Cox, 3 defenders, low ball into the box. Guess who's there again? It's Gardner sending it away. Kyle comes up with it. On the near side, it's Thomas. Now Ferraro will try to get the counterattack going for Oak City. 39th minute, late in this first half. And once again, the defenders are just draped around the attackers as soon as they get near the ball. Ball on the near side is going to be too far forward for Thomas. So that'll go out of play.
And
3 subs coming in for Oak City. Zach, go ahead.
Yeah, and it looks like it's actually will be 4 with Bonner coming in. It looks like they're going to kind of go back to the way they started off with Bonner and Casold coming up. But I'm not sure. I could be wrong, but I don't know if the Dynamo have made that many substitutions. It's been quite frequently that we've seen Oak City go with 3 or 4 substitutes at a time, and the Dynamo, if they've made substitutions, it's just been 1 or 2 at a time. So we'll have to see, maybe at the end of the game who has fresher legs with this rotation. It also affects the way that you play as far as attacking goes, to get in that rhythm when you're constantly having to sub in and out.
So Hoops, Casold, Fernandez back out there, and also Claire Griffiths.
Yep, Bonner came in as well. As, of course, you mentioned we have to track her all over the place. She's playing at left back now, over in defense, in case you wanted to know.
And that's never a good sign, by the way. If you see 4 players over on the bench after you just came in for a few minutes, you know that you're not doing your best. Good ball. Trying to give it a run is Fish, but it's going to be a little bit long for her. Was that Schwartz on the far side, I believe? Remy Schwartz with the pass.
Yep, just a little bit too far in front of her, but like I said, it's another really good ball out on the wings that they've been trying to get on the end of. Couldn't quite do so, but as far as just going back to Bonner quickly, before she was kind of playing in a defensive midfield role, when she plays out on the wings like this as a defender out wide, she can really get forward. We haven't seen much of it this game, but in the very first game that we had versus I believe it was Lake Norman, we saw her just marauding up and down the flank. So if you can add an extra attacker like that out wide, it really can improve the way you get forward.
We'll take our usual break at halftime. Some nifty footwork from the sub, Raggett, for the Lady Dynamo. Casey Raggett, who plays at Ferrum. Looks like 2 more subs are going to come in here for Carolina as the ball was deflected. Carolina with its second corner kick of the afternoon here in the 42nd minute. Going out to take the corner this time is going to be Sarah Thomas, I believe. Thomas sends it in. Header, wow, over the crossbar. And we don't have a number 6 on our roster, so I couldn't tell you who that was. It might be Lupita Ibarra. If you're a Lady Dynamo fan and you got the YouTube chat up, give us a shout. We thought she might be a scratch. Lady Dynamo roster looks like my taxes from the last 2 years. It's just a disaster. So we'll do the best we can, folks. And again, if you're on YouTube, give us a shout. Schwartz over on the far side.
Really good work from her to get away from the person that was putting pressure on.
Offside flag is up, so Casold was a little bit too far forward there.
Yeah, she just strayed on the wrong side of that defensive line, but it was a very close call. Like I said, those through balls have, they've all been off, but they've been so close to being right there. The short passing play has been good, but the through balls have been agonizingly close for Oak City.
Well, that long kick giving chase is Cox. And it's cleared. Defensive clear there. Again, Schwartz, I believe. Some nifty footwork from this Dynamo team as that ball sent into the box again. I believe that was Perea. Trouble for Wright, and now we're going to get a foul called.
Well, I'm going to be interested to see what he does here, because there was a collision. The players did go down. I'm not sure if it was, I don't believe it was intentional. It was right on the edge of the box. It could have gone either way as far as being outside or inside the box. I believe that the contact made was on the edge of the area, so outside, and they just fell inside. But in that instance, without replay, I really couldn't tell you whether or not it was a leg that got stuck out that took her down, whether it was a collision, what really.
So here we go. It's Ibarra, we believe, who's going to take this, and these are dangerous moments here for Oak City.
Yep, a right footer in this area is very scary if you're a goalkeeper.
Ibarra the shot and hits it in the back of the net. So the set piece works for the Lady Dynamo as they capitalize here in the 44th minute. It's 1-0.
Crank it up, White. Let's go.
Yep, and that's devastating from an Oak City perspective to have, given away the free kick there. And I don't believe it was an intentional challenge or a necessary one. It's just one that happened to occur. So, of course, disappointed to give that up. But as far as the set piece goes, very well taken. It's difficult to get it up and over the wall in that short period of space. There wasn't much that the goalkeeper could do in that instance. So, well taken set piece. Of course, disappointing for Oak City to have conceded so close to halftime. But they've got it all to do here.
Madison hoops onside. Defense is closing. Hoops the cross, trying to get it to Casold, and a good play there by the keeper, Byram, to make a stop.
Up a little too close to the goalkeeper on that one, but like we've said, they're just inches away. They just got to find that one key ball that's just a little bit further away from the goalkeeper, a little bit closer to their attackers. They're certainly in and around sniffing for that equalizing goal.
So the Dynamo, just their third goal of the season now in game number 6. Ella Bonner trying to make something happen. Man, that's Hoops. Casold being pushed off by Pry, Maddie Pry, with a great defense here in this first half. She's been one of the stars on that back line for Carolina. Fernandez now. Lupita Ibarra, if that is her wearing number 6, played JUCO soccer in Arizona last year. 4 goals and 2 assists. Finding her way to North Carolina. That counterattack squelched by the defense for Oak City. Casold trying to make something happen with her foot. Frustrating.
Yep. We mentioned that last game as far as the frustration goes, and it was right before Casold scores. That frustration isn't a bad thing at all. Whenever, a lot of the times, especially with attackers, when they get frustrated, it only enhances their game. And I feel like Casold is one of those players. Whenever she does get frustrated, is having difficulty in front of the goal, it's only going to propel her to work harder, to run a little bit faster, to put a little more effort in, which she's put in plenty now. It's hard to see her putting much more in when she chases every ball down just like that.
That deflection might lead to something there. Sliding in, trying to take that ambitious effort was Hoops. Nothing doing, though. Coming forward on the far side is Schwartz. And again, Pry is there.
And that's one of the things that's harder to drill into a lot of attackers is that, as a striker, you're not just in charge of attacking. You're also in charge of defending. And she does that from the front. That's where defense starts, is from the front. Because a lot of the times the ball isn't necessarily in front of your defenders. So she does an excellent job. It's not something I imagine that Anita Rodriguez had to teach her, because she's out there doing it every game.
Offside flag is up, and it should, as the referee looks at his whistle, do it for the first half. 1-0 in favor of Carolina as they get a 44th minute goal from Lupita Ibarra. So the Dynamo, looking for their first win of the season, will go into the locker room. Welcome back, everybody. Oak City with possession to start off this second 45 minutes. Chris Sheeman, Zach Burley, and Kevin Gattuso, glad to be back with you. So we have some clarification for the Lady Dynamo. It was Tahani Annis who scored a goal in the 44th minute, and it was Tahani Annis wearing number 6. So apologies for that, folks, that little misstep on our start. Tahani Annis, by the way, is... I've talked all about the youth for the Lady Dynamo today. Annis is a veteran who played at Florida from 2008 to 2011. 38 goals and 16 assists for Florida. Current women's national team member for the Philippines, and she coaches as well here locally. So.
Well, when she came on the pitch and they got that free kick, there was no doubt. You could tell she was taking that one. You could see the confidence when she stepped up. She was standing over that ball, and nobody else was going to touch it. And for her, she put it away. That's incredibly impressive to play for any national team, and to coach as well is awesome. And she could still play
at Everett.
Yep.
Everett. Oak City. Let's see here, Zach, what they can do here in this second half. Ivy Garner pushed off the ball by Pry. But Oak City's got to find a way to stay alive in the Carolinas Conference playoff hunt to get 3 points out of this one, because Sold got bumped and no whistle there.
Yeah, that one's a difficult one because, you know, as a person that played as a defender, that one I say play on, you know, that the defender was just running there and she happened to run into her. You know, as an attacker, you'd think the exact opposite. You know, she bodied me, so I'd probably have to side with the defender there. It's a, you know, tough play, but you were talking about the way the season is set up. You know, this isn't a season, you know, or a type of game where, you know, like the MLB or the NBA, where you can lose quite a few games and still come out pretty good at the end of the season. The way it's set up with so few games, you've really got to have a pretty good record, especially with the quality of teams in this conference, in order to make it to the playoffs.
Trying to give it a run was Cox, but Edelstein remains in the box, making the play to clear it out, so it'll be a throw for the Lady Dynamo. Here's where this year difference is from past years as well. Past years in the South in the WPSL, you didn't have as many conferences. Now there's 4 conferences, so in some cases over the last 3 years, you would have maybe 2 teams from the Carolinas getting in. That's not happening anymore. It's the winner for each conference. Now, the asterisk to that is, of course, it's the winner if they want to go. The winners of each conference could say, we don't want to travel, so we're not paying for it, and then it would be the next team up.
Yeah, I mean, just imagine if you were talking about the NFL and, you know, only one team from each conference went.
Right.
That's the sort of congestion it is that makes it so difficult to make it to postseason in this league. So.
And by the way, if you're the WPSL, you've got to change that. You've got to say, look, if you're the champion, you've got to go. For the integrity of the WPSL, we need our top teams there, not whoever wants to go.
And I think as the popularity of the league picks up, they'll eventually start having the money that they could perhaps finance some of these teams that can't do it as they continue to make more through revenue.
The entry fees for the WPSL is very reasonable. Let's put it that way. Crossed in by Griffiths, and sliding was Hoops after Casold had a touch on it. So Oak City coming alive a little bit here in the second half. And now it's a corner kick, the 4th. And this time it's on the near side for Claire Griffiths.
Yep, watch Golden, number 8. Watch number 13, Bonner, on this set piece.
Claire Griffiths, wind blowing at her face, into the box. Bonner the header! Ella Bonner has leveled it here in minute 50 at 1-1.
Just like I said, Chris. Just like I said, she is a threat no matter where she is in the box. That time, she's right on front of the goalkeeper. She's blocking her vision. It's going to make it really difficult to see where the ball is. It was perfectly placed. Very good service right to her head, and she managed just to nod it home. No problem at all. Ties this game up, and this is exactly how you wanted to start off the second half if you're Oak City.
So the equalizer here in the 50th minute from Ella Bonner, who will be a senior at North Carolina State. Her dad, by the way, happy Father's Day to him and all the dads, played soccer at Howard. And Ella Bonner now with possession. Oak City with a little pep in their step here in the second half, Zach. Not sure what was said at halftime, but things are looking better.
Exactly, and this is exactly what you wanted to do coming out, is you wanted to set the pace of this match. It was constant in the first half, back and forth, and you relied too much on the away team to affect how the game is going. So you wanted to come out from the break, set the pace, dictate the play, and go and get the opening goal. So as far as the game plan goes, whatever Anita Rodriguez said came true, came into fruition after that set piece.
Just enjoying a smoothie over here, don't mind me, as Zach fills you in on all the goings-on. What kind of smoothie is this? Oh, it's a protein smoothie. They got a smoothie station here, folks. You got one more chance to come out on July 7th at 2:30 p.m. And if you want to come on out, get yourself a smoothie. Not a bad idea, because it's probably going to be 250 degrees outside. There you can see the remaining broadcast that we'll have for you. Asheville City coming to town after Oak City goes on the road for, I believe, 3 or 4 straight. This is game number 5, so they'll have 4 straight on the road over the next 3 weekends. Oak City looking to get back in transition here. Here's Golden sending it into the box, and that time it's no trouble for the keeper, Byron.
Yeah, they're just tormenting this defense of the Dynamo right now, just putting these balls in, giving pressure, a lot of positive play. You've seen, like, as soon as the ball goes into the attacking half, you have 3 attackers that are right on that back 4. And when you play with the back 4, usually only your 2 center backs are in front of the goal. So when you put 3 attackers on them, it makes it a nightmare as a defender.
Well, getting the start here in the second half is Annis, who made a play on the ball. Oak City able to head it out. And now we get a free kick to come.
And that's where they're going to have to be careful, Oak City, is when they do put those numbers forward, when the ball goes into transition, they're going to have to be very careful not to give a goal on the break, because that's a strong suit of this Dynamo team that we've seen early on in the first half, was their ability to transition from one end of the pitch to the other and then even convert. So they're going to have to be careful as they push for this winning goal, which is what they're going to want to get, not to concede.
Push in the back there. I mean, she's throwing her hands up. Perea acting like she's never done anything wrong in her life right there. She clearly just shoved Casold in the back. I love it. That's the kind of athlete I was. What are you talking about?
Yep, exactly.
I didn't touch her.
Yep. That's what you got to do sometimes, especially as a defender. Sometimes you got to know when to take an attacker out. And, of course, you never want to do it in a malicious sense to hurt anybody, but sometimes it's just you take them out and you stop the play dead, and then, of course, you plead innocence afterwards. So
Claire Griffiths will take this corner kick. She's wearing 19 now. This is Paige. Oh, over the crossbar, but A for effort.
Man, did she dig up under that one. I mean, it was almost on the ground when she hit that one off the half volley. Took a bounce, and she just dug that one up. You could see it was dipping. If she'd have been another maybe 5 or 10 yards out, that one would have gone in, but it's a little too much behind it, and it wasn't quite dipping in time to get it under the bar.
Pinnacle Nutrition, by the way, the ones who are providing the smoothies here at WakeMed during the game. Trying to play that forward, using as much of the line as she could was Maddie Pry, but nothing doing. It'll be a throw for Schwartz and Oak City. 54th minute, level at 1 apiece. Ella Bonner in the 50th minute, equalizing for Oak City after the Lady Dynamo got a late first half goal from Tahani Annis. That's Claire Griffiths. I think we had a number change. Zach, I'm going to have you check on that for me. Number 19 out there. I thought that Claire had just switched jerseys, but I think it's somebody completely different. I see Claire still with 18. So Zach will check on that. Meanwhile, we have another counterattack on here as Golden sends it into the box. And Nice able to make a play to clear. So Oak City getting it back. Oak City with all the momentum after that goal 4 minutes ago, but that attack fizzles out. So a goal kick now for the Lady Dynamo. Oak City coming in at 2-2 on the year. Oak City looking for 3 points here today. So Natasha Turner now wearing 19. Thanks, Zach. Apologies about that. Man, these jerseys, they're keeping us on our toes. So Natasha Turner getting the second half start, the soon-to-be sophomore at Duke. Duke lost in the semifinals to UCLA, by the way. They've got a good program there. This is Annis again. Trying to get the attack going is Carolina now over on that far side. Nice move, and the shot blocked by Edelstein. That, I believe, was Cox. How about Julia Edelstein here today, Zach?
Yeah, really good work from the attacker to work that onto shooting position. The defender was closing her down, pushing her out wide. She managed to cut it back and get a shot on goal there, but Edelstein, wonderful save from her. That would have been crucial for the Dynamo, and she managed to snuff out that chance and put this away for a corner.
Isabella Cox, 18 goals, 8 assists as a junior at Grimsley High School last year. Almost put the Lady Dynamo back up by 1. So another corner kick to come here for Carolina.
And watch out Cox on this set piece as well.
Ball in. Hoops was there. Also Raggett for the Dynamo, and it's cleared out. Michelle Casold. Good ball over on the far side. Paige Griffiths turns on the Jets, will fire, and a little bit too strong by Paige that time.
Yep, they're just stretching out the play. It was really good a job from Casold to bring that ball down, to hold it up. That's one of the most important roles as a striker, is to be able to collect the ball and then find a teammate on the turn. It's exactly what she did. Played in Griffiths, and she had a long run there, had to use her speed and endurance to get down the pitch, ended up taking the shot. It was just wide, but a good effort from her.
57 minutes in the books. This is Turner on the far side of your screen. Natasha battling and losing steam on that attack, but fighting back to win possession again. And that ball going nowhere. Couple of subs coming on. It looks like Turner is going to come off. And if I had
like Gardner.
Yeah, Avery Gardner coming back in. Gardner, we've seen her as a center back for Oak City, primarily a center mid for the Phoenix of Elon University last year. Two-time sportsmanship winner for her club growing up. So a player who has a lot of respect out there. Paige Griffiths now on the run. Sending it in, looking for Casold. Ella Bonner will come up. And Ella Bonner, her momentum carrying that ball past her. Unfortunately for the Dynamo, they have an awkward clear.
Yeah, and that cut back there was a good one from the wide areas. It was just behind Casold, though, and there was nobody else at the top of the box to take the shot on. But they still have a chance here off the set piece from the throw-in to do something with the ball in the attacking area.
Coming out for Carolina is Raggett, and I believe Keating might be back out there for her. Schwartz looking across, sends it into the box, and on one hop, no trouble for Byram that time. 60th minute, 1-1. Rachel Golden, a big collision, and a foul's going to be called on Golden there. Audrey Beck checking back in. Thanks, Zach.
Yep, and she just stood her up there, just ended up saying, you know, the best way to stop the momentum is just to stop myself and get run over there. In the end, she was willing to give up the free kick in order to stop the flow of that counterattack, which is, like I said earlier, something you just got to do sometimes as a defender.
Second of 3 straight on the road for the Lady Dynamo, as they will go to the Discoveries in Rock Hill, South Carolina on the 19th of June.
And it's kind of interesting to see because the Dynamo are keeping a lot of numbers forward too. They're playing with 2 strikers now instead of trying to pack it in.
Over on that far side, that was Claire Griffiths. I knew that was going to happen at least once this year. Claire Griffiths looking for the cross, and it goes behind.
Well, we saw finally Bonner getting on the score sheet from a corner kick off the last one. As I said, to watch her and to watch Golden if she comes up. She's just so lethal. Golden's not going to be on the goal line this time. She's going to be making a late run in from the top of the box. So just keep an eye on them. They're both very good in the air.
Corner kick number 5. Oak City able to capitalize on the last one as Ella Bonner headed it into the back of the net. 61st minute. Claire Griffiths will tee it up. The wind at her back. Ball in. Golden tried for the header, and we're going to get a foul called on Oak City in the box.
Yeah, it looks as though when Golden jumped up for it, she kind of ran in shoulder to shoulder with the defender there, might have knocked her over, and the foul was gone the other way. But just shows you how physical Oak City can be off these set pieces, and it seems to be a strong suit from them. They're very good at servicing the ball into the box, and as far as finishing off their chances, they're always a threat. So something they're going to want to capitalize on when they have the opportunity.
There's some hustle and bustle behind us, which you may or may not be able to pick up on, and of course behind us at the Pro Stadium tonight, the Courage will be playing. North Carolina Courage. How about the year they're having, Zach?
Yeah, still undefeated through I think 12 or 13 games now. So
Ridiculous.
they're just putting a roll on, and they're just showing the in WSL what kind of force they can be.
Look out. Yeah, they tried to let the challenge go forward, and Ella Bonner called for that foul. So free kick to come for Carolina. We'll see if Keating will take it.
And this is what I was talking about. The Dynamo are not looking to sit in. Of course, they're drawn right now. They want to get all 3 points, but I think you kind of come to the realization that if you want to make anything of the season, you can't just get along and hope to squeak in a playoff spot. The only way is to get points. So at this point, it really does nothing to get 1 point. You really just want to go for all of them. So they're going to put numbers forward and risk it.
Perea into the box, headed by Bonner. Still danger. Dynamo. Keating sends it in. That's going to be headed out. And let's see what Hoops can do here. Remember, Madison Hoops had a goal. Offside flag is up again. Casold is off.
And that's probably the 3rd or 4th time they've been caught off on the onsides when they really had a golden opportunity. Even on as far as the Dynamo goes, they've had them happen as well. So it's something that you got to work on as an attacker. It's not easy to do to stay on sides, but you really got to do it.
Here's Pry. Maddie Pry sends it into the box. Diving. Edelstein makes another aggressive play.
Crucial there because the attacker was in behind, and probably you would favor them to put that away. So crucial intervention from Edelstein.
Trying to get to the ball. Paige Griffiths taken back again. Perea made a play on it for the Dynamo. Now this is Schwartz. On the far side, Golden. Rachel Golden, the left back's got some space. Golden, little touch on it, trying to give it a run as Griffiths. Oh, wow, I thought it was going to go out. Griffiths made something out of nothing there in Byram. How about the play by her?
Yeah, I thought that was going to roll out for a goal kick. The ball was just a little bit in front of her, but she just used her pace to catch up with that ball and managed to put the cross in, and Byram just having a little bit of trouble of containing that ball. Almost saw it go in the back of her own net, but when the ball comes in like that, maybe she wasn't expecting the cross to come in. She was happy to see that go on the other side of the post and out for a corner kick rather than a goal.
Corner kick number 6 for Oak City, all by Claire Griffiths, who takes a walk out to the far side. 4 on the far side, 2 on the near side here this afternoon for Oak City. Griffiths, great ball into the box. Casold tried to get there. Golden tried for the header. And the defense able to hold, and then the Dynamo selling that foul call. Nice job by Annis.
Yeah, I think a lot of the teams that we've seen in the league have had some tendencies to stay on their line rather than come out. A lot of the times when the ball's lofted up like that, you'll see a goalkeeper come off their line and punch away or collect. And especially today with the goalkeeper for the Dynamo, we've seen her kind of stay on her line, be a bit more conservative, and that's exactly what Oak City want. That plays into their hand. That gives them the opportunity to head the ball towards goal, and from that distance it's almost impossible to make a save when the ball's headed like that from that sort of point-blank area. So as far as the corners go, it really favors, due to the goalkeeper staying on her line, what Oak City want to do.
Well, Annis has come off for the Dynamo. We'll tell you about their subs as soon as we can see them.
And to quote Alexei Lala, set pieces, set pieces, set pieces. This is what this game has been all about. 2 goals, both have come off the set piece, and that just shows you have to be clinical in those. I mean, it's really a chance for you to have a really easy shot at goal, and both teams have taken advantage of them, made do of what they were given from the corner and then the set piece that the Dynamo had on the edge of the box. They're so important that you make something of them, and both teams have capitalized. Of course, we haven't seen any goals from open play.
Nice header by Ella Bonner to win that ball, and then takes it right back. Ella Bonner on a mission here this afternoon. Bonner dancing through 2 defenders, somehow got a shot off, and it deflects behind.
Yeah,
Ella Bonner.
That's something that Oak City missed last game, is not just her ability, but her determination to pick up the ball and drive forward. That she just has this presence about her that really lifts the entire team. She's willing to drive against defenders, to pick up the ball, take it herself, whether she dishes it off, whatever she does. She really just improves the entire team just by being on the field, and we've seen that multiple occasions in this game.
Yeah, and all season long so far for Oak City. Ella Bonner, if you're an NC, if you're a Wolfpack fan, got to go check her out. She's going to be fun to watch next year for NC State. Their program is underrated. Talk a lot about Duke and South Carolina and
UNC.
Yeah, UNC certainly. NC State's right up there.
Yeah, it's easy to get looked over as NC State when it comes to all the sports, but
yeah,
quality athletics all around.
NC State fans will let you know about that too, believe me. I got one that I worked for. That ACC, though.
It is loaded, that is for sure.
Yeah, on the women's soccer side, it's unbelievable. Trying to make something happen there for Carolina was Carney. Ball sent into the box. It's punched by Edelstein. Frankhauser is there. Frankhauser takes the cross in. And again, that back line holds. Coming up is Perea, and that will be well too high. I believe we might get a water break. Melissa Fernandez coming on for Oak City.
And going back to the chance earlier, the ball that was whipped in initially, that was punched away, really good service. That's something we've seen a quality from the Dynamo, has been their balls into the box. And then the chance then afterwards, it was on the ground. The defender did well to kick it away. So some defensive solidity that we've seen from both sides, obviously, as we haven't had a goal from open play.
Melissa Fernandez in for Ivy Garner. The Gulf South All-Academic last year. Fernandez, 18 games at Auburn Montgomery, 14 starts and an assist. Auburn Montgomery was NAIA for so long, and like many others who were NAIA, they've transitioned to Division II or Division III. Of Auburn Montgomery's case, it's D2. Dynamo right now, trying to make something happen. That's going to be over the head of Maddie Pry, so Oak City with the throw to come. They'll make a sub as Casold will come out. Casold, 227 caps with United States field hockey, retired after the Rio Olympics, keeping her skills sharp, playing soccer for the first time in a while, and coming in for her is Natalie Carpenter. And now we go to another water break. So, level at 1. Let's get this out of the way. A happy Father's Day to all. I know there's dads watching out there, so happy Father's Day to all of you. Happy Father's Day to my dad. You're going to see your dad.
Yep, exactly. It's a day that we get to celebrate our fathers, and I know a lot of them have, been watching other of our broadcasts. Watching this one, will continue to watch. So it's a day to appreciate them and to appreciate all that they do for all of us.
During this water break, we're going to run down the remaining schedule and just kind of give you the scenarios. And I'm talking and stalling right now because it takes a minute to load it up. But the Oak City schedule for the rest of 2018 looks like this. They go at Lake Norman. That'll be the 17th. Then the next week at the Dynamo for that rematch. That's going to be an important one. Then at Asheville, obviously we don't need to tell you that that's an important one. That's going to be during the week, by the way, on the 27th. Then they're at Beaufort down near Hilton Head, South Carolina at 4 p.m. on the 30th before returning right here. So the road gets very difficult, and one of the reasons why Zach and I have been talking about this game as vital for 3 points. Well, you see it right there on the schedule.
Yeah, it's not going to be easy. Looking at it, though, you're saying, Lake Norman they beat earlier in the season. That's definitely a game they can win, not a game that they are guaranteed to win. As far as the Dynamo goes, same thing. That's a game they can win. Asheville's going to be difficult, but if they picked up a point there, that would be fantastic. Beaufort as well, if they could get a point there. So you're saying maybe 2 wins, a draw, and a loss would be a success on the road. Obviously, you want to win every one of them, but I think that 2 wins, a draw, and a loss would probably be what you could look coming out of there. Then the last game against Asheville to pick up a win would, I'm not sure exactly what the points total that would put them on, but still probably unlikely to make that one spot given how good that the Rapids are right now also with Asheville. But anything can happen, of course. It's the nature of it. The season is short, but that doesn't mean that it's all guaranteed already. There's still lots of games to play, and anything can happen.
Yeah, I don't know exactly if the Rapids game against Asheville is in Asheville. If it's in Asheville, they've got a stream. If they don't, man, I might come up. I'm gonna come up to where did the Dynamo play in Charlotte, around that area. I think a little outside it.
Yeah, the Dynamo are up in Greensboro.
Dynamo.
Yeah.
I mean, I meant the Rapids.
Yeah.
It's the Heat.
Yep.
It's the Heat. I'll blame that on. So, anyways, those are all the kind of scenarios and everything that can happen and may happen. Oak City right now still somewhat controlling its own destiny, but they need to get 3 points here today. And the Dynamo looking for their first win. They already have a tie against Charleston back on June 2nd. I've been impressed with this Dynamo team. I was thinking it'd be 3-4-0 in favor of Oak City, but Carolina has really brought it today. They don't have their full allotment. They've got a lot of depth, but they've played well, Zach.
Yeah, they've made it difficult for Oak City as far as the attacking sense goes. Oak City's had a lot of chances, but a lot of them have been snuffed out by the defense of the Dynamo, and as far as going forward, they've showed a lot of quality there as far as crossing goes, and of course the one set piece. Both teams have been stagnant in the fact that we haven't seen a goal from open play, but that could change, and if anyone wants to get a win here, it's obviously going to have to change. So it'll be interesting to see in these closing minutes who can really squeeze out a victory here if it's possible at all.
Trying to get the opportunity was Carolina. Pry a little bit too far forward on that ball. If you're just joining us, Tahani Annis for the Lady Dynamo with a goal off a free kick just right at the tip of the box in the 44th minute, made it 1-0. And then on a corner kick, Ella Bonner headed it into the back of the net in the 50th minute to level it at 1-1. Annis, by the way, women's national team player for the Philippines on the roster for the Lady Dynamo.
Yeah, and the game has dropped off since that Bonner goal. Really, that's what Oak City wanted to do, was capitalize on that momentum and really get something going. They've had difficulties since, but they're going to want to build some shots, some chances, and really get into the attacking half to build that momentum that is so important if they want to get anything from this match. Because at this point, if it's not a win, it's almost a loss. A point doesn't do you much of anything at this stage.
Madison Hoops was giving it a look. It was cleared out, so Rachel Golden will throw it in. We'll have another Carolina Lady Dynamo sub. Golden gives it a look, trying to get there as well is Carpenter. Mackenzie Wright, wearing number 10, back out there for the Lady Dynamo. Over on the near side, some open space. Fernandez. And that ball, trying to get it through 2 defenders, and Fernandez, well, they play the advantage, I guess. No whistle. Carney sends it in. Edelstein comes all the way out of the box. At center circle, Carpenter flicks it ahead. Hoops. And she knew when to call it quits on that one.
Yeah, the first touch there just let her down. She was trying to kind of push it in front of her and give her some space to run into, but in the end it was just a little too far front of her, and the goalkeeper could easily collect. But you do see urgency from both sides. As soon as the ball goes out of play, they're not wasting time. They're getting immediately to it and trying to get the ball into an advanced area. But I do think that if Oak City are going to want to have a positive outcome from this game, they're going to need Casole on the pitch. I understand you want to rest her. You don't want her out there the whole time it's hot. But I think that her presence is really missed up front.
Griffiths looking to go to Carpenter. 76th minute now. Carpenter, nothing doing as the defense able to take that away. Carney. Lady Dynamo. 0-4-1. Carney gets it back on the 1-2. Hits it right to a defender, though. Oak City now trying for a counterattack. Fernandez with some space. Still being given some room, so she'll take a shot. Why not? Byram makes the play, though.
Yeah, there was a couple of overlapping runs there that she probably could have passed to that would have been the better option, but sometimes you just pick your head up and take the shot, thinking anything can happen when the ball's in the air like that. So it's willing to take an effort, as like we said, we go back to that Spain game. Sometimes when you don't think it's going to go in, it still ends up doing so.
90 minutes plus probably about 3 of stoppage time. Off the turnover, here is Schwartz. Schwartz looking for Fernandez, and Fernandez gives chase, but it's too long on that pass.
And that's been a pretty common theme throughout the entirety of the game, is really good through ball in a good area, but it's just been a little bit too far in front of the attackers that just haven't been able to get on the end of it. They've been close on so many occasions. The passing is very positive. This hasn't quite been where they want it to be.
Another sub in. Anna Fish coming back in. Anna Fish was a freshman last year at Eastern Carolina, top 25 recruit. Excellent player. Frances Henshaw also, another one of those Wolfpack players we were telling you about. That's going to roll right to Edelstein. No trouble for her there.
Yeah, and Fish has typically been playing in the midfield area as you see Bonner going up to attack. This is something we mentioned earlier, her versatility. When being at Campbell, when I saw her play ECU and Campbell early in the season last year, she played as a winger out wide. This season she's primarily played in the midfield, and I don't think she's really had the impact that Anita Rodriguez wanted, so they're going to try her up front now and see what she can do.
Henshaw trying to get the ball forward. Both teams' defenses disrupting passes here in the last couple of possession changes for Carolina. Perea, Nice. Perea, we told you, is going to be a senior at Wake Forest. Nice is a soon-to-be high school senior playing on that back line together. There's no doubt Perea is giving Nice all kinds of knowledge back there that she can use to further her career. It's a great opportunity. It's I got to say, it kind of shocked me the first time I looked at some of the rosters and I saw high school and college kind of intermixing like that, but it's got to be a great resource.
Yeah, it's a good combo. It's always nice to have somebody, especially in defense, that's experienced and can really guide you, to have that calming presence at the back line.
Well, Mackenzie Wright on the corner. She had 11 assists in 2 years at UNC Pembroke before transferring to Western Carolina up there in the mountains. So she's good on these set pieces. Look out here, minute 79. Ball into the box. Giving chase on the near side. A couple of players battling for it. Fernandez for Carolina. And a foul called on Fernandez for Oak City and a yellow card.
Yeah, I think that's a bit unfair, the foul and the yellow card. I'm not really sure exactly why the foul was given. I think that was pretty 50-50 as far as the jerseys go. And then I think the yellow card was not for the foul, but rather for the reaction afterwards. You could tell that she was discontent with that. But this is another chance for the Dynamo to almost pretty much a corner here, just a little bit further out, a little closer into goal, to make something from a set piece, which we've seen have been so crucial.
So Perea's going to take it. I'll just say I agree with everything Zach said. And that ball goes over everybody's head. Now to play for a goalkeeper. They say in basketball, ball don't lie. That was a situation right there where the ball did not lie.
Yeah, it was a really good one, too. It was very well whipped to the far post. It was put in a good area. Certainly wasn't lacking for someone to put it in the goal. Just nobody was in that area when the ball came in. But I tend to agree with you on that one.
80th minute. Oak City needing 3 points here to wrap up this 4-game homestand here at WakeMed. They'll still have one more. Nice ball. That's got to be offside. Well,
yep, I think they're just going to play the advantage on that one. If Fish would have been, if she would have touched the ball. But since the goalkeeper could gather, they just played the advantage on that offsides. And it'll be interesting to see as we close in on the end of this game whether Casol does come back in.
Yeah, we have not seen her in a while. Ella Bonner giving chase on the far side, battling with Kyle, and that's going to go behind for a goal.
And that just goes right back to what we were saying about Bonner, is most players would have given up on that ball and would have stopped chasing, but not her, not Bonner. She's going to follow it all the way through and saw that one out to the end line.
Sometimes I think it makes sense because you want to conserve that energy, but
yep,
you get the feeling a player like Ella Bonner doesn't run out of energy at any point.
Yep, some players just can run and run and run, and she seems to, her and as well as Casol, who just seems to have endless energy to chase the ball around. Both are very good at that.
Carney on the near side. Cox trying to get there. Isabella Cox is always a threat. We've seen her with a couple of almosts here today as she tried that cross it short of the post. So quick free kick to come here. 81 minutes in the books now.
Yeah, this one's going to be a slow grind to the finish. A goal really would open things up. If a goal went one way, you wouldn't really say that's the deciding factor. You could really see a couple of goals here in the end if one side scored and the other came back. So anything could happen here in this last couple of minutes as we close this game out.
Fernandez at center circle. That, I believe, was Griffiths. That's going to be headed forward by Fankhauser, but no trouble for Edelstein. Edelstein. Oak City doing a lot of directing. Sense of urgency expected to pick up here as we get late in this one. Oak City needs this win. Nice header, Ella Bonner. Past the defense. The offside flag is up.
Yeah, and I'm not sure about that one. You know, whenever the goal kick comes in, that's not where you're expecting to look in, because it was actually the second ball off the midfielder that bounced in. So I was not looking. I could not tell you if it was offsides or not. You wouldn't intend for a player to be in that position, and you could see that I believe Griffiths got a yellow card for protesting to the referee about that decision. And without having seen it, I couldn't say. But
he can come up here, and I'll get a yellow card too. That's just the wrong call, flat out. I don't know what I'm going to do without you on the 7th. You keep me level-headed.
Like I always say, there's a reason I'm up here and out on the field.
It's true. And that offside, we explained it in the first half. It's not only difficult for the fans and the players, it's difficult for the officials as well.
It's one of the hardest jobs in sports for sure, is spotting those.
That's the job they signed up for.
Yep.
They chose that job. And quick free kick taken by Oak City. Again, 3 subs getting set to come in.
Looks like Casol is one of them.
Oh, beautiful header by Fish. Claire Griffiths. Defense coming up. Claire keeps possession alive. Back to Bonner. Bonner hesitated. Fernandez, the bicycle kick. Keeper has trouble with it, but on the second effort, Byron makes the play.
Yeah, he thought for a second there she was just going to jump up and bike that one into the back of the net, Rooney or Zlatan style, but that's a very hard technique to get, and she almost got a chance out of that one.
Henschel on the far side. It's Golden. I think Golden's played every minute on that left back side. All the Fish, the header, and no trouble again by the keeper.
Yeah, Golden's been key in that back line, not just as far as defending goes, but motivating that team, pushing them forward as far as the attack goes. It's a great ball from her. Fish just couldn't quite get the contact. She wanted to nod that one past the goalkeeper, but she really plays a crucial role in this back line.
Golden gives it a look. It'll be a throw, and Annis has come back in there, by the way, for Carolina. So some veteran leadership in there for the Dynamo. 3 subs coming in. Michelle Casold is one of them. Well, they took out Ella Bonner. That's interesting.
Yeah, they're going to give Casold one more time around to see if in this last 6 minutes she can pull something out of the hat and get them the win here. She certainly has the skill and ability to do it. It's just a matter of whether or not they can get the ball to her to give her the opportunity to do so.
So it's Ivy Garner and it's Madison Hoops as well, the basically starting strikers for Oak City. Fresh legs to work with as well. Paige Griffiths with a good ball, but too far forward for Hoops. So Oak City going for it now, 85 minutes in the books.
And at this point, this time of the season, you really just got to throw everybody forward, both teams, to try and get a victory here.
That offside flag is up on the far side, so no trouble there. Yeah, it's kind of interesting to see what the Lady Dynamo would do in a situation like this. They're desperate for a win, certainly. They know they're not going to a regional playoff or anything like that, but still, to pick up 3 points on the road, something to build on.
Yeah, at this point, you're doing it for yourselves. You want to give your team and your fans something to cheer for. So you're going to want to, regardless of where you are in the standings, always to go out to win. That's the mark of an athlete. The mark of a good coach is one that no matter what the score line is, whatever team you're playing, whatever the situation, you always want to go for a win, and that's the sort of mindset they have, the Lady Dynamo.
Ivy Garner trying to make something happen. Again, the defense is there. Oops. 2 Griffiths around the ball right now. There's Madison. Oops. Pressure is on here for Oak City. 86 minutes in the books now. 87th minute. Again, we'll play to 90 plus some stoppage time. Expect it to be around 3 minutes. Maybe it was a little bit more than we thought last week. But we'll see here. Now a corner kick conceded.
And it was crucial from Edelstein coming out. It was most of the time goalkeepers use their hands to stop something, but there she just slid in with her legs and managed to shepherd that ball out for a corner rather than seeing that one slide past her and possibly into one of the attackers that was waiting.
So Perea will walk out there. Peyton Perea, soon to be senior at Wake Forest. We've seen a lot of Demon Deacons as well. Pretty good players for them. Speaking of ACC action, 9 goals, 3 assists in her first 3 seasons at Wake. Sends it into the box. Oak City trying to get the transition counterattack going. Garner sends it back to Gardner with a D. Here's Garner. Deflected off Casold. Reagan plays it forward. Here's Annis. Scored both goals via the set piece. One on a free kick by Annis at the end of the first half. Hoops, offside flag is down, but again, it just a little too far off her body there. 88th minute. Casold trying to win it. It's taken back, though, by the Lady Dynamo. Throw in for Oak City. Golden looking to go quickly here. 88 minutes in the books now.
Yeah, you can tell desperation is starting to set in for both these teams. They're just throwing the ball forward, starting to launch it one way and the other. You know, there's not much time left to be concentrated, but you do have to show concentration, as all the game plan could fall apart in these final seconds as decisions go against you right now, as the referees are changing the decision on the throw-in.
Twice, by the way.
Yeah,
2 times.
Yep, and everything can go out the window at this stage of the match, so you kind of got to keep your head, stay calm, and just try to find those simple passes.
Good advice for players and announcers alike. Trying to get to it for Oak City is Lauren Griffiths, holding off the attacker. Lauren Griffiths, what a play. Still danger. Annis fires it, but it's right at Edelstein.
Yeah, she's playing on the edge there, holding that ball up from the attacker, but did very well to show her strength and hold her off. In the end, the shot that came about from it wasn't troubling Edelstein.
Ivy Garner, heady move there from the soon-to-be high school sophomore.
And you can see coming up is Gardner. She's ventured all the way from center back. She was yelling for it earlier. They didn't see her run, but she was running up from center back. It shows the determination that all the players in this team want to get forward.
Ugh. That fizzles, though. Yeah, Dynamo are certainly going for it as well, which is what I was interested to see. Did they just want to play spoiler, or would they be content with a point? Both teams are really going for it. On the near side, Carney deflected out. Again, we will have some stoppage time.
And I was going to say, to kind of sum up the match, that things kind of fell apart in this game, but I think it's probably safer to say that things never really came together for either team. The game plan they wanted to come in with, I kind of feel like both teams ended up canceling each other out. There's never really been any flow or any consistency to the play. It's kind of ended up being more of a back and forth sort of game than any sort of constant. So
Schwartz tried to send it in. Henshaw coming forward, everybody forward. Here's Casold. Hoops. They're getting it back to Schwartz now.
It's a good decision.
Schwartz sends it into the box, and that's going to be headed out. So expect roughly about 3 minutes of stoppage time here. Now danger. Here's Carney. Sprinting back is Griffiths. Carney gets away. Carney blocked and saved by Edelstein. Unbelievable.
Incredible stop from her. That would have been heartbreak for Oak City to concede this late in the game, and she has been phenomenal today. That's her third or fourth big-time save. I'd say that's probably the biggest of them all to stop that one from going in.
Griffiths with the throw. It's headed. Garner trying to use that line, battling against Keating. No foul. Another throw for Oak City.
You can't imagine much more here after this one chance of there being much more of an opportunity to score.
This time, Claire Griffiths with the throw. Gets it back. Two defenders on her. And blocks it. Nice job by Claire. So here's another opportunity. Both goals via the set piece. Claire Griffiths will take the 7th or 8th corner kick of the afternoon for Oak City.
And for the Dynamo, everybody's back. For Oak City, pretty much everybody's going up. This is, I believe, going to be really it as far as the match goes. The last real chance.
Claire sends it into the box. And that'll be cleared away. Again, 92 minutes in the books, expecting about 3, but they call it here. The Lady Dynamo and Oak City United come to a 1-1 draw here at Wake Med Soccer Park. So, scoring recap real quickly here. Tahani Annis right before the half. A free kick right outside the box for the Lady Dynamo in the 44th minute made it 1-0. And then Ella Bonner with a header in the 50th minute off a corner kick made it 1-1. And Zach, that's how we finish up.
Yep, I believe that's the result that neither of the teams really wanted at this stage. Both would have wanted to win, so to see it end in a draw is disappointing for both sides. But in the end, it was a fun competition, as it always is when we do these games. And I was glad that I could be here and to once again be on the call after all these games in a row.
Well, Zach, thanks for working with me, buddy. It's nice having you. Zach will be gone on the 7th, but I will be with you again. So Oak City hitting the road for 4 straight, and then you can catch us on July 7th, 2:30 p.m. as Oak City wraps up the 2018 season against Asheville City. Really looking forward to bringing you that one. So for Kevin Gotuso and Zach Burley, my name's Chris Sheeman. 1-1, your final here at Wake Med Soccer Park. Enjoy the rest of your weekend, everybody. Take care.